Tonight on the Inside Track, Billy O'Donnell has a day like none other in harness racing history, setting a world race record aboard the mighty Nihilator and then piloting PRAKUS to victory in the 1985 Hambletonian. We'll have all of those races and more tonight on the Inside Track.
The Inside Track, the weekly harness racing magazine show. With Gary Sussman and featuring the Professor, John Manzi. The Inside Track is brought to you by the Sullivan County Catskills, a little bit like heaven, only closer. The Villa Roma, discover the difference. The Concord Resort Hotel, home of the state's #1 public golf course. And Dana Distributors, making friends is our business.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable horse. It doesn't matter any kind of racetrack, though. It's real hard to get over this track real fast, and clay track would knock another second or so off that, I think.
How good is this horse then? You're talking about another second off, and in a race condition, he finished just 2/5 of a second behind the record for a time trial.
Well, who knows? Like, he's gone 2 real tough races, and you just can't do that every time with him. But the conditions permitting, and his soundness and health is okay. He'll go a pretty good mile, I think.
It may have been the single greatest day for a driver in harness racing history, as Billy O'Donnell piloted Nihilator to the world race record, and then he was aboard PRAKUS in winning the 1985 Hambletonian. Hello everyone, I'm Gary Sussman, and welcome once again to the Inside Track. He has won more money in a single season than any harness race driver before him, but that one major title had been elusive, and now the Hambletonian is Bill O'Donnell's. And in that one Saturday afternoon at the Meadowlands, Bill O'Donnell may have set a one-day mark that never will be equaled. Coming up next on the Inside Track, Harness USA goes back to Hambletonian Saturday at the Meadowlands when we return.
You can travel the whole world over.
It's beauty to explore. The Sullivan County Catskills will make you love New York. With all the treasures and the pleasures any wonderland can offer. It's a little bit like heaven, only closer. A little bit like heaven.
The Sullivan County Catskills, with the world's great resort hotels, bid you a warm welcome.
Only closer.
The Concord wants to make Wednesdays part of your weekend. With Superstar Wednesdays only at the Concord. Blockbuster shows all summer long with top-name entertainment you'd expect to see only on the weekends. Enjoy a full-course dinner at the Concord's luxurious dining room and a Superstar show, or just the show at Super Savings. Call the Concord at 794-4025 for reservations. Make Superstar Wednesdays part of your weekend. Why spend your Wednesdays anywhere else?
If you subscribe to the American dream,
You are a dreamer until your dreams come true.
you should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal.
Then you're a leader, and they're all looking up to you. You have the courage to see your dreams through. The dreamer, the leader, they're one and the same in you.
Every business day, the Journal helps your American dream come true with business news, financial news, facts, trends, ideas, everything in the world that affects your world. Call toll-free 800-892-9000 and get 6 months of the Journal for $56. That's $7.50 off the cover price. 6 months, just $56. Call 800-892-9000 now for the Wall Street Journal. The daily diary of the American dream.
And welcome back to the Inside Track, Harness USA, and the Professor is well rested after a long day at the Meadowlands on Hambletonian Saturday. And we're going to let him tell you everything about that day. But before we go to the Meadowlands, let's first go to Roosevelt Raceway for the International Trot, one of the last big races before Roosevelt closed their meet, and Yonkers, of course, picks up. And a foreign flavor to this race. It's 1.25 miles, and the defending champion from France upheld the crown.
You avoided his name, too. Now, I'm
Very
not too
well,
good
did I?
on French either. It's Lieutenant Dessigné, I guess is how you say it, Suss. And he is a two-time champion now. You know, this was a lot said about this horse only having 5 starts coming into the race. That he's been plagued with a quarter crack, but he was good enough, and real good, in fact. He won in 2:31. Check that, 2:31, which was a little bit off his record of last year of 2:30. Now that's 1.25 miles. That's some quick stepping on a half-mile track. But the trainer, 30-year-old Jean-Paul Andre, he knew he was the best. He said the French horses are the best, and he proved Lieutenant Dessigné was the best, no doubt about it. Johnny Campbell got locked in with Sandy Bowl at the mile marker. He shook loose and had to come 4 deep, made up 6 lengths, but he was still 3 lengths short. You know, this horse won the Prix d'Amérique in Vincennes in Paris.
A lot of fancy language.
Well, I don't know if I'm saying it exactly right, but he won the big race in France, and French trotters are tough. I don't know if he's in the class of Ideal de Gazot yet, but you can't tell Jean-Paul Andre that he's not in that class.
One quick note, what's a quarter crack?
A quarter crack is a crack in the horse's foot that runs up into the quick, sort of like on your nail. If it runs up into the quick of your nail, and it hurts and it bleeds and it's sore, and they have to patch him a lot of times, or they wear special shoes that will prevent the spreading of the foot so it doesn't hurt them.
The professor is also a doctor tonight. That's why he's telling you about the quarter cracks. Let's go to Roosevelt Raceway. Jackie Lee,
Great
a
horse.
linguist this evening. Lieutenant Dessigné winning the International Trot.
Right around that final turn, Lieutenant Dessigné of France opens up a 2-length lead. Along the inside of the Onion is second as they move to the top of the stretch. Lieutenant Dessigné, the world trotting champion, has opened up a commanding 4-length lead as they drive to the wire. Lieutenant Dessigné of France is going to successfully defend his Roosevelt International crown.
Lieutenant Dessigné in victory at Roosevelt Raceway. Okay, without further ado, let's go to the professor. It is Hambletonian Saturday at the Meadowlands. Once again, the professor is live on hand. Another great day at the Meadowlands.
Suss, I'd never spent a more enjoyable day in my life at a racetrack. It was just a tremendous day. I called it the World Series and the All-Star Game wrapped into one, not only on the racetrack but in the grandstand. Everybody in harness racing was there, and I was just glad to be a part of it. It was Hambletonian Day. Some thunder was taken from the trotters by highlighting the great pacers, but being a harness racing fan, I don't care what kind of gait they have. It was just tremendous.
And speaking of the pacers, that's who we're going to look at first as we go to the World Cup Pacing Series one leg. And on the road again, our good friend doing something that John said on the road again would do, which is tie the mark for 4-year-old horses, and that is the mark set by Itz Fritz and Genghis Khan, and on the road again, spectacular before a national audience.
Oh, you said it well, Suss. He is a tremendous, tremendous animal. You know, Gordon Rumpel, the owner of On the Road Again, wants badly to race against Nihilator, but I don't know. There's not been too many times where the 3-year-olds had to attack the best age pacers in the world. He's a great one. Buddy is a masterful driver. The horse is just a tremendous animal. He beat the best in the world, the best in the United States anyway, and did it and made him like it. He went and won 51-4. Again, won 51-4, and he was still some 2 seconds away from where Nihilator went, but he could go there. There's no telling where this horse can go.
And this was not a weak field up against On the Road Again either.
No, there were guts in there, and there's just, I left my program upstairs, but he was in there, guts, and just some of the best free-for-all pace. George S., and just a whole lot of good horses.
So let's take you back to the Meadowlands, one leg of the World Cup Pacing Series.
Too, On the Road Again.
And even though this was Hambletonian Saturday, there was Hambletonian Plus On the Road Again.
At the top of the stretch, On the Road Again, cuts the corner and holds on to the lead. Mr. Dalray now second on the outside. Butler BG toward the inside, then farther back George S. Guts comes on from the far outside. Gilmore goes to the whip. On the road again, leads by 2.5 lengths. Butler BG second, Guts far outside. They're coming to the finish. On the road again, he has done it again, this time in 1:51.4.
On the road again, who has become a charter member of the Inside Track due to more than 5 appearances in one season. From On the Road Again, as John said, 1:51.4, a slow time compared to what the great Nihilator did. Not reaching the mark of Niatros, but yet setting the world race record, Bill O'Donnell in the sulky.
Well, he has nothing to be ashamed of, believe me. I mean, he broke the world record by 1 full second. Now, Nihilator went in a time trial. Check that. Niatros went in a time trial, and he went in 1:49.1, and he had horses at him the way they do the time trials the whole way. But this horse here, he started slow the race, Suss, and we're going to show the good part of the race. Billy took him away easy. He settled in 4th. They were by the quarter in a swift 26-2. And Billy said it's time to move, and he went by them horses going up the backstretch like a freight train passes a hobo. I swear to God. He was going to buy some horses, I mean, in a hurry. In fact, he paced his second quarter in 25-4. And Billy had him opened up, I think the fractional time, if I remember, 53 in the piece. And he was at the 3/4 in 1:21 and change. And coming down the lane, don't you know, Tommy Harmer with his great pacer.
Falcon Sealster.
Help me, Suss. Yes, Falcon Sealster. He was right on his back. Billy O'Donnell looks over his shoulder and almost to say, what are you still doing here?
And almost loses his whip.
Yes, he fumbled with the whip a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot made about that, but I don't know if it made any difference. But Falcon Sealster was a length and a half back, paced in 150 and got second money. But Nihilator, the king of the day, unbelievable. A tremendous, tremendous animal. He's going to be here the 25th, and I can't wait to see him.
And as John said, the Niatros record was set in a time trial. Nihilator will get a chance to do that also. So let's take you back to the Meadowlands. The great Nihilator, the fastest time ever in a race.
Nihilator and Bill O'Donnell at the lines. They're in front by 2 lengths. Falcon Sealster is second. The others are far behind. It's almost 10 lengths back to Stonebridge Skipper Racing in third. Less than 3/8 of a mile to go. Nihilator looking for the world record. Falcon Sealster in close pursuit. 7 lengths now back to the rest. The 3/4 mark. 1:21.2 seconds. The field turns for home. Nihilator with long and powerful strides. And Bill O'Donnell urging him on. They're after the world record. Falcon Sealster is racing in second. They're coming to the final 16th. It's only Nihilator against the clock. Falcon Sealster in pursuit. They're coming to the finish. O'Donnell going to work. Here's Nihilator. Here's the final time. 1:49.3. This is the fastest race mile in history, and just 2 ticks off the time trial record of Niatros. Nihilator, another devastating performance.
Nihilator in the unbelievable time of 1:49.3. And when we come back, the Hambletonian, all 3 heats, when the Inside Track continues.
Here comes PRAKUS now.
Hello, I'm Marty Pasanti, and I'd like to welcome you to the Villaroma Country Club.
Villaroma, for the splendor of Rome away from Rome, in the heart of the Sullivan County Catskills.
Hey, give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Oh, can I have a light?
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Connors, and I'm going to make you a better tennis player. Every month in Tennis Magazine. Tennis, #1 tennis magazine in the world. #1 in keeping you up to date, helping you to enjoy and improve your game with sound and practical instructions from the world's top teachers like Ash, Hopman, Trabert, Vandermeer, Braden, and even me.
With news, insights, and updates on all the top players and on the bright new stars. With Tell It Like It Is articles on tennis equipment, apparel, and vacation ideas. Now you can get tennis at a bargain rate.
Call 800-892-9000 toll-free, and you can get 12 issues of Tennis Magazine for only $9.97, less than half the newsstand price. Call right now, and you'll get free the booklet Jimmy Connors on winning serves and ground strokes. That's 12 issues of tennis plus the Jimmy Connors booklet for only $9.97. But you must call now, 800-892-9000.
Don't forget, we've got a date right here every month.
Welcome back to the Inside Track. In case you've just tuned in, we are reviewing Hambletonian Saturday at the Meadowlands. We've shown On the Road Again. We've shown Nihilator in the record-setting race, and now we're going to show you the Hambletonian all three heats. The professor was there, and let me say no more. First heat goes to a 35-1 shot, overtaking one of the Inside Track favorites, Mark 6. And Mark 6 was not to make that winner's circle in heat number 1.
He was close, though, Suss. He almost got there. Of course, way back about 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago, I said Master Willie was going to win, but
a little banged up.
Something happened along the way. He wasn't quite himself. But Mark 6 looked real good here with Johnny Campbell driving. You know, Campbell and O'Donnell, those guys are masters, wizards at the reins. There's no doubt about it. He had the best of it coming through the lane, and right near the end of the mile, don't the old master, though, Howard Beisinger, who had set the former record with 155 back at the Coin with Speedy Somali, he snuck up with Torway right between horses and got up in 155 flat. It was a tremendous mile.
And a 35-1 shot, so right off the Hambletonian has a surprise, and the stands are abuzz. So let's take you back to Hambletonian Saturday. Let's take a look at a long shot winning the first heat.
Mark 6 is out after him now. On the far outside, it's Workaholic closing in. For the final eighth of a mile, it's Mark 6 on the outside taking the lead. Master Willie trying to stay with him. Workaholic right there third. Torway trying to move through in between horses. Mark 6. Here comes Torway with the late move. Howard Beisinger and Torway have won it and upset in the first division of the first heat.
Torway in 155-2. Now in the Hambletonian, you have to win 2 heats in order to win the Hambletonian, which brings us to heat number 2, and PRAKUS in his first victory of the afternoon.
And he comes off 3 in a row, 4 out of his last 5. PRAKUS has the magic man, Billy O'Donnell, subbing for the trainer and former driver, Per Eriksson. And Mr. Eriksson is a Swede, and he is just 25 years old, and he gave way to Billy O'Donnell just lately. In fact, Ronnie Waples was doing a little driving too, and with the top drivers on, this horse is a killer. He came in the race as the pre-race favorite. In fact, he was 4-5 on the line, and Billy just stepped away with him and made it look easy. He won his division in 55-1. Flack Bait, Benny Webster, the Meadowlands local favorite, ended up second. And third went to Ron B. Hanover, but PRAKUS was the star of this heat and the star of the afternoon.
The professor has said it all. Let's take you to heat number 2, Hambletonian Saturday.
The stretch. It's PRAKUS leading the way. And Flack Bait right there second. On the outside, Ron B. Hanover is third. They're in the final eighth. And PRAKUS is moving smoothly with a 2.5 length lead as they come to the final 16th. Bill O'Donnell just a tap or two from the whip, and it's going to be PRAKUS. He's going to win this easily.
So PRAKUS handily wins his first heat, and now we go to the second heat. And of course, you have to win 2 heats in order to win the Hambletonian. They don't necessarily have to be successive. And this horse just a tremendous performance. And we have seen PRAKUS before on the Inside Track, in case the name sounds familiar to those who are not that familiar with harness racing.
Right, we showed him one time when he was down in Brandywine, I think, right?
Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell, that's right. Bond Sport and those Pig Bar and those horses. Well, here he comes 2 in a row. He's sharp now. He went in the favorite, like I said, and he had very little trouble here. You know, the first 5 finishes in the first heat came back with the first 5 finishes in the second heat, and they comprised the 10 horses that raced in this third heat, though this is only the second race for the horses, and the PRAKUS won it 2 straight. He won it here in stakes record time to 154-3. And an amazing thing about the card, they raced 14 races there, Suss, that day at the Meadowlands. It was a hot day, a little bit of a wind, but the slowest mile on the card went 155-3. Did you hear what I said? 155-3 was the slowest mile. The fastest mile, of course, was the 149-3. An incredible afternoon, incredible afternoon. This is an incredible horse, too. He went just a giant mile. Billy O'Donnell is just so talented. You know, he and Campbell, and a bunch of other guys, Benny Webster, Carmine. You know, there's a lot of great drivers, but right now it's O'Donnell, and he's going for that $9 million. He's already over 6.
And speaking about money, as far as PRAKUS goes, 8 wins and 11 starts, a purse of over $600,000, and doubling career earnings for the year, $1.2 million, which is not a bad piece of change.
That's it. And Billy had a pretty good payday. I don't know if we figured out what he had. I know he won, he won 4 heats that day, and he's just rolling on. You know, I'd like to hit him up for a little bit.
The Magic Man with the Midas touch. So let's take you back to the Meadowlands. PRAKUS winning the 1985 Hambletonian, and Billy O'Donnell is in the sulky.
And they're off. Flat bait is away quickly, and there goes Pigvar now. He's sent up after the lead from the outside. Mark 6 comes away on the outside, racing in 3rd. Torway at the rail now, racing in 4th. PRAKUS is now back in 5th. Workaholic racing in 6th. Then it's Ron B. Hanover, followed by Somoli Star. Master Willie comes away racing in 9th position. And the trailer is nearly perfect as they move to the quarter. John Campbell puts Mark 6 in gear. 28-2 for the first quarter, and Mark 6 now takes charge. Flat bait 2nd, and then it's Pigvar trotting in 3rd position. Torway on the inside is 4th. Here comes PRAKUS now, and he's making his move as they move up the backstretch. They continue up the backstretch. Mark 6 leads the way. PRAKUS 3rd, now 2nd. PRAKUS racing after the lead now. And Flat Bait is back in 3rd position. Pigvar is 4th. Torway remains in 5th position. Ron B. Hanover gets underway on the outside. He's followed by Somoli Star. Then toward the rail, it's Workaholic. Master Willie is still racing in 9th position. Nearly perfect is the trailer. The half-mile time, a quick one. 56 4/5 seconds. And PRAKUS is in charge with 3/8 of a mile to go in the second heat of the Hambo. Here comes Ron B. Hanover now, surging, 2nd on the outside. And Mark 6 is now back in 3rd. Somoli Star is off the rail, and he's racing in 4th position. On the inside, Flat Bait races in 5th. 3 quarters in 1:25-2. And the field turns for home. It's PRAKUS on the rail with the lead by a length and a half. Ron B. Hanover is trying to stay with them, but PRAKUS is turning it on. PRAKUS pouring it on inside the final 8. Bill O'Donnell goes to the whip. PRAKUS leads by 2.5 lengths. Ron B. Hanover takes to the inside. Flat Bait is 3rd. Pigvar is 4th. Coming to the finish. PRAKUS is drifting out, but he's going to win it. PRAKUS is going to win the 1985 Hambletonian, and he has done it in record time, 1:54-3.
PRAKUS and Billy O'Donnell winning the 1985 Hambletonian. And when we come back, we're going to feature the fastest classic of them all, something from the past. We'll have that for you and more when the Inside Track continues.
Good friends and good sense make for a good time. So when it's party time, know when to say when. A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Me and the boys back again, pitching even more great specials at Orange County Paint and Carpet. Right, boys? Right.
Right.
That's because they've got the largest selection around on quality paints and floor coverings at prices that are a steal. Get latex house paint just $22.50 a 5-gallon can. And Tron 2 carpeting $4.95 a square yard. Let Orange County Paint and Carpet help make your home a hit. Orange County Paint and Carpet, Route 6 at Bradley's Corners. Right.
Right.
If you subscribe to the American dream, you should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Every business day, the Journal helps your American dream come true with complete coverage of your business, your money, and much more. Call toll-free 800-892-9000 and get 6 months of the Journal for $56. That's $7.50 off the cover price. 6 months, just $56. Call 800-892-9000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
R.J. Grasso presents Heat Mirror.
The R.J. Grasso heat mirror replacement window has been hailed as a technological breakthrough by the trade and business press. The San Francisco Examiner said heat mirror could vastly improve the energy-saving characteristics of windows. Mechanics Illustrated rated heat mirrors being 50% better than triple pane glass.
Well, I heat my home with electric. My heating bill 6 years ago is what I'm paying 6 years later, so I've seen a big improvement in my heating cost.
Homeowners, this could be you if you call this toll-free number right now. You'll receive the R.J. Grasso t-shirt free. R.J. will cut heat loss, and that means you'll cut heat cost. The R.J. Grasso heat mirror replacement windows are as energy efficient as a window with 5 sealed panes of glass, but they cost far less. Homeowners, more and more people like you are discovering what R.J. Grasso heat mirror windows are. You could be getting the benefit of R.J. Grasso heat mirror windows in your home. Homeowners, if you call right now, you'll receive free information on the R.J. Grasso heat mirror window, along with my special gift to you, an R.J. Grasso t-shirt.
On August 18th at Monticello Raceway is the Slutsky Memorial. On August 11th, the Lady Catskill. You'll see both races next week on the inside track. And on the flashback, we're going to take you back to what was the fastest Monticello Raceway Classic, which is the race that preceded the Slutsky Memorial. And I guess you could also say the Lady Catskill because of the purses that are involved. And Jerry Glantz is the track announcer, and Shelley Goudreau aboard Freedom Fella.
Right, this was the stakes record, and a great race. The track record was set in the trials by Owen Cash, a fifth of a second faster. Owen Cash didn't fare well in the race. He made a break, in fact, leaving the gate. But the memorable part about this, or about, I guess, the sad part of it, Shelley Goudreau, one of his last big races. You know, Shelley was in an accident out in California later on that same year, and from head injuries he expired, and it was a terrible loss for harness racing.
And I still remember Shelley Goudreau up in John Manzi's office after the race answering all the questions.
Happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah, a loss, of
real
course, to his
talent,
family,
too. Right.
and a loss to the sport.
To the
But
whole game.
let's take you back now to the Monticello Raceway Classic 7. The track announcer, our good friend, Jerry Glantz.
Into the final turn, Freedom Fella opening up 3. Brand new Fella trying to close ground. Ombro Whiskey on the outside. They've got an eighth of a mile to pace now. They turn for home. Freedom Fella goes for the classic record. They have 3. Brand new Fella the outside. Ombro Whiskey. It's all Freedom Fella. Freedom Fella wins the classic. The time 1:55.4.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Connors, and I'm going to make you a better tennis player. Every month in Tennis Magazine. Tennis, #1 tennis magazine in the world. #1 in keeping you up to date, helping you to enjoy and improve your game with sound and practical instructions from the world's top teachers like Ash, Hopman, Trabert, Vandermeer, Braden, and even me.
With news, insights, and updates on all the top players and on the bright new stars. With Tell It Like It Is articles on tennis equipment, apparel, and vacation ideas. Now you can get tennis at a bargain rate.
Call 800-892-9000 toll-free, and you can get 12 issues of Tennis Magazine for only $9.97, less than half the newsstand price. Call right now, and you'll get free the booklet Jimmy Connors on winning serves and ground strokes. That's 12 issues of tennis, plus the Jimmy Connors booklet for only $9.97. But you must call now, 800-892-9000.
Don't forget, we've got a date right here every month.
Hi, I'm Tom Watson, and here's a tip that'll help you sink more putts. Keep the angle of your left elbow constant throughout your stroke. It will make your putting more consistent. And here's another tip that will help make your golf more enjoyable. Subscribe to Golf Digest. Golf Digest can help any player who wants to get more fun out of golf, starting with playing editors like Watson and Nicholas, who tell you how they play the game, and the teachers at the world-famous Golf Digest instruction schools who show you how you can play better. You'll get features on the Pro Tours, the latest in golf equipment, and the monthly tournament and TV guide.
Order a full year of Golf Digest for only $11.97, more than half off the cover price. And you'll also get free this special booklet, Tom Watson's Putting Secrets, 48 pages of stroke-saving advice. Call toll-free 800-892-9000. Call now, 800-892-9000.
Remember, watch the elbow and read Golf Digest every month.
Next week on the inside track, as we wrap things up for 1985, the Lady Catskill, the Slutsky Memorial, and the Wilson. Just a few of the races that we'll have for you on our final show of 1985. For the professor, off camera, boning up for that show, I'm Gary Sussman. We'll see you next week on the inside track.
The Inside Track is brought to you by the Sullivan County Catskills, a little bit like heaven, only closer. The Villa Roma, discover the difference. The Concord Resort Hotel, home of the state's #1 public golf course. And Dana Distributors, making friends is our business.
Welcome Falcon Silster is racing in second. They're coming to the final 16th. It's only Nihilator against the clock. Falcon Silster in pursuit. They're coming to the finish. O'Donnell going to work. Here's Nihilator. Here's the final time. 1:49 and 3.